Hi, everyone, and welcome to Psych 205. This is our online orientation, just some kind of tips and tricks that I've come up with over the last few years teaching online courses that I found helpful to students as well as helpful to me. So I don't have anyone that showed up. As I said, no stress if you can't attend. I get it. This is an asynchronous course, so there are no required meetings. So I am recording this so that you can watch it later at your convenience. And I do recommend that you do that. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start out with a little bit about the course. This is the course structure and overview. So when we think about the course, this is an extension of Psych 101. We specifically are looking at psychology with children. We're going to look at development. We're going to look at how family dynamics, parenting, temperament, all of those things impact the way the child not only develops, because when I think of develop, I think of physical, but cognitive and social and personality as well. So a lot of things going on. So a couple things to get started with. One Moodle upgrade was a bear. It was very challenging, and a lot of my stuff that I've had in the course did not transfer over properly. So if you note something that looks incorrect, I've tried to check it, but let me know because I strive to make these courses as quality as possible so that you guys get the best experience. So please let me know so that I can make changes. Along with that, our textbook that I've been using for a good while, because it wasn't one that really got updated. It was Influential Studies of Child Psychology. Now, I've tried to find a replacement. Unfortunately, all of the books that I found were basically the same as the Human Growth and Development textbook, and they just went to childhood. So I was not really pleased with what I found. They basically had half the book that you would have for Ed 215, but it costs the same. So I'm just like, no, no, no. So I am really getting uncomfortable by doing an open educational resource version for this class. It's going to be a little bit of everything. I'm going to try to maintain the same content and structure that I've used for years because it is successful. And I'm just going to try to bring in outside resources that are free to students. That's basically what open educational resource means. So please bear with me and let me know what you're thinking of it, because as I said, my goal is to make these courses good courses for my students, and I certainly don't want something that is not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the structure of the course. It is 100% online, which, as I said earlier, that means it's asynchronous. You do it as you can, as you want to, within the specified due dates. There are no required meetings. However, I am going to be reaching out after I've gotten all of my orientations done to all of my students to see if there are times during like Tuesdays that I can meet in person if you want to, or you can join in person via the Zoom call if you want to, and just kind of be available and be on campus more. So that is something that I'll be reaching out about. So that option is going to be there. Again, it is optional. And if it's anything that goes along with what we are covering in class for that a specific class, I'm going to record it and make it available to those who can't. But some people just prefer more interaction, more face-to-face, more contact. So that is what I'm going to try this semester. Okay, so let's talk about the due dates. The due dates are weekly. Every single thing in this course, aside from the initial discussion board postings, is due Sunday at 11:59. Okay. I do that just to keep it easy to remember. Now, as much as I say that, there's also a 2-day window of grace period, which basically means, yes, it is due Sunday at 11:59. However, you can turn it in until Tuesday at 11:59 without penalty. My recommendation, strong, is do not make Tuesday your due date because it's there for when life happens. It's there for when Moodle goes awry. It's there for things you can't control. You can control when you do your homework, but you can't control things like Moodle or like your kid gets sick or whatever the case may be. Those are things we can't control. So having that cushion, the window of grace, is a godsend sometime. So that's why it's there. Speaking of the initial discussion board postings, those are due Wednesdays at 11:59. The method to my madness is everyone who is participating in this class, part of their grade is to do 2 replies. If there is nothing to reply to, it has the potential to impact not only your own grade, but other people's grades. So you will not get full credit on the discussion board if you do not have your first post done by Wednesday at 11:59. Prereqs, kind of not really necessary. I talked about it already, but it's building off Psych 101, so it's expected that you take Psych 101 with a C or better to take this course. Okay, so let's talk about some keys to success. A lot of people think an online class is completely flexible and they can do it when they want, where they want, which is to a degree true. However, there are things that need to be done, like regular logging into the Moodle system. I recommend at least 3 to 5 times per week. And I will admit this is a typo that I'm going to go ahead and change now. It's actually about 8 to 10 hours that you will spend on the content from this course. As it is a 3 contact hour course, that means an online course has to accommodate the 3 hours that you would have been in class, plus the out of seat time that you would be doing. So it's going to be roughly about that. Some people work faster, some people work slower. It just depends on the student. Okay, so the third thing is when you're in an online class, everything that I put out there, especially with this one with the OER, is considered instruction. That means videos that I make, including this one, announcements that I send to the class that you get copied on in email form, emails that I send to the class, all of those things are considered instruction. Even the syllabus, the supplemental videos, the weekly videos, everything is considered instruction because we don't have a face-to-face dialogue. So instruction is largely self-directed, and that means you need to take responsibility for your own learning as well as take advantage of what's provided. So here, for example, I'm going to blow my screen up just a touch so you can see it better. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, that did not work. Here, for example, I have a slide that shows a screenshot from a assignment. I think it's in week 6. I'm not sure, but it basically, oh my gracious, I'm having a hard time here. It basically has the full description of the assignment. The first thing that you want to make sure is you scroll all the way down because sometimes after the rubric, there will be videos. All of these are designed to help you successfully complete the assignment. This is an example of a resource that is provided on the resources and external links page, which is part of the instruction, especially for an OER class. And it would go right along with this assignment. So make sure that you use all of those resources because when I grade them, I'm going to expect that you've used all of those resources. I'm going to look for you to bring in citations and examples from these resources, okay? Also, make sure that you are actively participating in discussions. If you look to the Start Here menu of the course, there is a discussion guide rubric which will tell you exactly what you need to do in order to earn full credit on a discussion post. Summary version is you make the required post, you do them with depth of thought and correct format and citations, and you make your 2 replies, and you do it by the 2 due dates. That's basically what it is. If you do not do a substantive reply, hey, your post is great. I learned something. That's not enough. You need to add to discussion. For example, I've started to reply to some of the introduction posts, and I'm trying to model what my expectations are, which is I will read the post. I will find something that I can relate to in the post, and I will add on to the post in my reply. And that is how discussion should go and keeps going in the course. And that is how you get full credit along with the deadlines. Second thing is, this is a course where citation is huge. You will be using external resources, and make sure that you are maintaining academic integrity by citing those external resources. Just make sure you have a reference page as well as internal citations, and that would be great. Okay, this is kind of in the way I'm trying to move it. Also, I want you to communicate proactively. So if something's going on, you need to let me know. I say that because in an online class, you can disappear, and it takes a little bit for me to notice because we are not meeting physically face by face. I definitely notice when a student misses a couple class sessions because we're there every day and we see each other face to face. But if I just see that you missed one assignment, that happens. And I don't necessarily know something's going on. So please communicate with me. Check your email, send your email. All of that is important. And even more important is the number of courses that I have. Use your CRN because that will help me answer your question much more quickly. Otherwise, you're going to get, hey, what course are you in? And then the question that you have that probably is important to you is going to get pushed back. So use that CRN, which is the 4-digit code that is on your course. So you look at the title of the course, and then right after that is your 4-digit code. For this one, it's either 2470 or 4248, or it's both of them together. If you put that, I know exactly where you're at, which class you're in. You can even add child psych, and I will be able to help you way faster than if you just said, hey, which textbook are we using? Because that gives me nothing, okay? Also, we do have campus resources that are helpful. Our TLC, the Testing and Learning Center, as well as the Tutoring Center are huge helps to our students, especially if they need extra help with the online format. And we also have a great help desk. It is for faculty, but it's also for students too. So those are 2 great resources that you can use. So let's talk a little bit about the grading of the course. As you can see, your discussion boards are weighted heavily, 20% of your grade. Collectively, altogether, 20%. Same with the unit assessments. With those, I usually drop your lowest quiz score. So I don't do any makeups at all on the unit assessments because you get a freebie. The writing assignments, they are worth different points, but together they make up 20% of your grade. And then there's also study worksheets. I look at these as an electronic study guide that will help prepare you for the quizzes for each unit. And those are worth 10% of your grade. There is also 2 big projects at the end. One is the content analysis project, where you will be selecting an article or a topic within the course, and you're going to go deeper than what is provided in the course. My ultimate aim is for you to find like a replication of a study that has already been done that shaped the way that we look at child psychology and share that with the course. There is a lot more information about that on the full assignment, the content analysis section of the course. but I'll make sure that I cover that in depth too. It's not something that's due until the end of the semester, but we'll have check-ins so that you are fully prepared to do that. And that's pretty much all how the class works in terms of the grades. Okay, important resources. As I mentioned, this is an OER class, so everything is embedded in Moodle, and I will make sure that you have everything you need, and everything will be on Moodle in some way, shape, or form, and I'll make sure that it is accessible for you to get to. Um, Please, again, like I said, the Moodle issues that we're having, let me know if things aren't working because I want to make sure that I am having everything accessible the way I expect it to be. Also, important resources for sources of help. You've got the IT desk phone number. Um, Take advantage of my virtual office hours, even if it's just shoot me an email during that time or scheduling to talk on the phone during that time. My email, I'm always available. I have my email sent to my phone, so I'm usually able to answer questions on the fly if you provide the CRN so that I don't have to actually log into a computer. And we also do academic accommodations through disability services. If you had any kind of IEP or anything like that in high school, college does not automatically do that. So you need to seek out that support through our academic accommodations office. And lastly, these are kind of like the goals or the learning outcomes of the course. Just wanted to go over them very briefly. We are going to review the theories and the principles that go along with child psychology and development. So these might be very much refreshers from Psych 101. We are going to talk about prenatal development, which that was also in Psych 101. Very briefly, very little. It will be a full week in this class. We're going to utilize the studies that we're talking about to apply scientific information. And we're going to, number 4, if you haven't had Ed 215, the nature versus nurture controversy may not be something that's familiar to you, but that is something that is very relevant to child psychology as well. So we're going to evaluate the biological and environmental influences on children and also look at those big areas of development, social, emotional, and moral developmental factors, and some physical too. Mostly cognitive, but some physical goes into it as well. And then the genetics and the environment. Some of that comes up in prenatal development, but it also comes up in a lot of the studies where we're looking specifically at the environment. So that is pretty much Psych 205 in a nutshell. I hope that you are staying warm. I am in my shacket. My husband says I look like a lumberjack, but heck, I'm warm. That's all that matters. Anyways, I hope you're staying warm. I hope that you're driving safely and you're just locked down in a blankie. So if you have any questions about the orientation, about the quiz, about the course, about anything, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to talking to you and I'm looking forward to a great semester. I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.